Good Monday morning. How are you this morning? Back to normal. Praise the Lord. Well, do I do normal? But I mean, it has been a crazy couple of weeks because I don't know what day of the week it is and if it's a full day, a half day, or what a day. So I am thankful to be back to normal. And so normal is good. I like schedules. I like normal. So praise the Lord for that. I'm ready to take on today. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to get started on the end of the year. Thank you letters for all the people that donated. And you can donate starting off the year right if you want to donate. You can stop by the radio station at 1508 State Avenue right here in Holy Hill if I'm not available. We do have a mail drop. You can put your dollars, your fives, your hundreds, your thousands, whatever right in there. Or you can go over to our website, WAPN.net, click on Give Now, and donate right there. So thank you, everybody that donated in 2025. And like I said, I'm going to be working on those letters to get those out. It was a honeydew project, lots of time over the last couple of weeks just doing stuff. You know, I'm a project kind of girl. And so, but yesterday we decided, and we were trying to figure out how old our storm doors were. So our storm doors were, the one was probably 30 years old. I don't think we even had a screen on that door. And then the one, we had replaced an old wood screen door with the glass door. And I think we found a receipt from like 2007. No. Yeah. It was a long time ago. It was like, I don't know, 2003. It was like 20 years. Yeah. 20 years for a door. It was time. So, but you know, when you take off the old doors, then you have to repaint. So we were repainting, and then it was hard to hold the big glass door up. So the guys have got to help us. So one thing after another, it's painted. And so hopefully the doors will go up today. But it is so weird when you have had doors and then not to have storm doors. It was a very weird feeling. It just looked like odd. So I'm ready to fix that. That was exciting. But we did watch football yesterday. You know, we're football people. And Buffalo did win 35-0. But you know what was fun? I mean, 35-8. But what was fun is seeing the different players that we don't normally get to see. It was the last time in the stadium. They're going to be moving into the new stadium. And so it was neat to see different players. Josh Allen did come out and I think do one play. We need a kicker. Oh my goodness, we need a kicker. So, but it was a good, you know, I like seeing the different players and seeing what they could do. But the most exciting part of the whole entire thing is, I know, it's the 6-7 thing where we were up and we were going to be 6th or 7th. I don't really understand all that. Tim was trying to explain it to me. We're in the playoffs, but I don't understand that part. So we were on pins and needles waiting to hear that it is going to be in Jacksonville. So one of my favorite stadiums is Jacksonville. We have had wonderful times at Jacksonville Stadium. And we will be there next Sunday. I know, I'm so excited. Tim and I are going. Not the seats we normally sit in, but that was crazy. So we got good seats, but just not where we normally sit. And so now we got to pray for parking situation. Yeah, because we did not buy the parking pass. So last time, God gave us favor. I need God to give us favor on this next Sunday. He already gave us favor with the time because we didn't even know what time we were going to be playing when we bought the tickets, which is so silly because we have such crazy lights with scheduling, but it was like we didn't care. And then God did it. 1:00 game. Perfect. Go. Have fun. Come back. Still be at work on Monday. But God. So that was one of the exciting things over the weekend. We have just had a great few weeks, you know, with family and going places and doing things. And just, I really appreciate all the things that we've been able to do and are doing in our life. God is so good. You know, I am a person that loves to do. If you don't know that about me, I don't like to just sit. I constantly like to be doing something. And so I have been able to do lots of things in the last few weeks, and I really appreciate it. But I do like a schedule, and I do like back to normal. So coming into work this morning, I was like, we're back to normal. God is good. So one of the normal things I do at the beginning of the year, I do several normal things, but one of the normal things I like to do at the beginning of the year is get serious about my idea of how I'm going to save during the year. I usually like to do like dollars or fives or change, and I always do all those things. It's so easy to do. I don't really spend change. I throw it in the bottom of my purse. Once a week, I clean out my purse, put all that in a jar. And we've actually gone on trips because of that. And I don't take it to the store and cash it in. I like to actually roll it. I know, fun fact about me, I'm dorky like that. I do. I like to pour it all out, sit on the floor, and roll it. And so that's something I like to do. But I do like to save my change. I try not to spend $5 bills, but I got lazy in 2025 with that. I'm going to get on lazy with that in 2026. And then dollars. I do spend dollars, but I do like to also save so many dollars. So back to savings, back to figuring that out. Again, getting rid of stuff. This is a year of organization. This is a year of, getting rid of the old. I do every year, but I really am focusing on that. Trying to, not just have stuff to have stuff, not buy stuff to buy stuff. I like to go to certain stores just to go. And I have literally changed that about me. Yes, I still get stuff delivered, but I've even changed that. So you can make a change. It's a habit. It's like, I think 24 times to make it happen. And so I've been getting better about habits and things that I want to change in my life. So as we're kicking off the new year, I think it's very important to purge. And I think it's very important to do stuff. So I've been watching all these different videos and all that. And I found one thing that we started off with the junk drawer. And then it says today would be the pantry. And so those are two great things. Just taking a drawer and getting rid of some of the stuff in it, or finding your hidden treasures, and in the pantry going through and throwing out all the expired stuff and, cleaning it up. And I try to do that a couple times a year, and I actually am going to work on that this week. So those are two like normal things, but I found 60 things to throw away. Yeah, 60 things to throw away, declutter challenge. So I thought we'd say the kitchen. So today will be just the kitchen for like this whole week. And then we'll move on to another item. So in the kitchen, if we're decluttering, we should expire spices and condiments, which, yes, spices do expire. I remember one time I made beef on weck, and it smelled like gasoline. It was so crazy. I had just bought the spice, and it had expired, and I didn't check at the store, and I made it and ruined the entire meal. So, yes, expired spices and condiments. Chipped mugs and plates. Now, I don't have any of those, but if I did, that's something you need to get. Plastic containers with missing lids. This is a never-ending battle. I have done all the different organizing tricks for that. I've done it where you put a 1 and 1 to, on your things. I've done it where I split them up. One part goes on one shelf, one part goes on the other shelf. I have tried putting them together so you always have it together. That takes up way too much room. Probably the best hack for plasticware is those disposable black ones with the lids. You can buy them divided. You can buy them single. I just love those. And shout out to my neighbor, Janice. She got us a whole pack of them the other day. And I thought that was the sweetest thing to give us. I gave that as a gift this year to the kids. And because it's a joke when you go to somebody's house, bring your own, containers to bring it home in. And I do. I bring my own containers if I know there's going to be leftovers. But I got it for all the kids. And then I was gifted a set. So that was like super special. So plastic containers, old takeout menus. You can look at everything online. I don't have any of those. So far for the kitchen, I'm doing pretty good. Duplicate utensils. Now, I did do that one year. Let me just tell you about that, though. When you do that, you have the big ones, the big spoons that you use for like the holidays or when you're baking. Well, I decided one year that I was just going to get down to minimal. That was not a good thing, just so you know. So really think about when you do that one, what do you use it for? Are you a baker? I love to bake. So that is not a good thing for me to do unless I figured it out better. And good knives. Yeah, I did not know. There's like 6 different knives that Tim uses when he's cooking. So those are just some tips. So we're going to start off, like I said, with the kitchen. I am probably 3/4 good on the kitchen part. We did a major kitchen clean out about a year and a half ago. And so I'm pretty good with the kitchen part. I will go through my spices again, because that was crazy when that happened that time, but pretty good with the kitchen. How about you? So those are just, different things. I do not make resolutions. I'm a goal setter. So there's different goals that Tim and I want to do at the house this year. One of the goals was storm doors. And then we would like to add a shower, take out our bathtub, which is crazy because when we put it in, I love to take baths. And then after my knee surgery, I didn't anymore. And so we want to take out our tub and put a walk-in shower in our bathroom. We have a baby bathroom, but that's our goal this year. But we really love our tile. And of course, you can't get that tile anymore. So we have to think about that. And then with having the one bathroom during the demolish, how will we take showers? Of course, we do have a shower here at WAPN. Just lots to think about for that. But that is a goal for this year. And that's what I love. My husband and I are goal orientated, and we like to make goals and have something to work for. Here at WAPN, I haven't set my goals yet. Well, I kind of set them, but I haven't set them all the way. I would like every prayer line to do the salvation prayer. Every time there is a prayer line on WAPN, I would like the salvation prayer. I would also like to cut all new salvation prayers and then put a file and put those out over the air. So that is something I think the salvation prayer is very, 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 very important. And so that is a goal for this year, is that. And then I haven't thought of any other goals really for WAPN. Constantly the music, I love music. So that's something I'm always working on. But that is something I really want to do, is to tighten up a salvation prayer every day over the air, different people's voices, because I feel like we reach different people with different voices. And so that is a big goal of mine. I've done it before, and I played it during the holiday season, and it was very, very special. It really brought back the roots of WAPN. We started WAPN with prayer. We started WAPN for salvation. And so I believe that with all my heart that is something that we need to reinvent, redo, whatever, to get that word out there. So I want all the prayer lines to do that. And of course, I want to get rid of the iPad here in the studio and have everybody on the big equipment, on the podcast equipment, so that everybody is YouTubers in here. And so if you don't know, we are on YouTube, WAPN 91.5 FM. And so that is something that was huge for me in 2025. And people always ask me, why was YouTube so important? People use YouTube for everything. And I figure if they're just clicking on it and getting the salvation prayer or hearing something that is positive or encouraging, that could change their lives. So I am a YouTuber now. And I just think it's because you don't know who's watching it. They don't have to like it. They don't have to join it. They don't have to do anything. They can just be part of it. And, how many things do you YouTube to figure out how to fix it? Or we had something yesterday that we didn't know. And I'm like, we'll just YouTube it. My mom YouTubed everything at her age. And so that is just something that I was very excited in 2025. And I'm very excited in 2026 for the salvation prayer to be back in the rotation and get that going. So pray for me as I am, working on it and working on things around WAPN. I love a fresh start. I love a reset. I think everybody needs a fresh start and a reset. And then I like to go for it. And so that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing, is going for it. So join me for the ride of decluttering and redoing and resetting. Resetting is probably a big word for me this year. So let's get our favor on and let's get Monday going. We should always be reaching for new heights in our abilities, in our spiritual walk, in our finances, careers, and personal relationships. There are always new challenges, other mountains to climb, new dreams and goals that we can pursue. And that's how reset is. You're always constantly looking. And so I'm looking and I'm praying and I'm asking God for, reset in my life and reset and things at WAPN and reset at the house and different things. And so like with that door that we removed this weekend, and it was weird and it was awkward and it was whatever, freshen it up by new paint and get ready to put the new one on. And it's kind of like a reset of the house. One little thing makes such a huge difference. And, that's what I like about, you can change up one thing, clean out one room, or, do whatever and change your furniture around or get a different couch or whatever it is. And it can refresh you, reset you, and get you excited about what God's doing. So you're listening to WAPN. It is Monday, January 5th, 2025, the first Monday of 2026. Oh my goodness. I wrote it and I didn't mean it. The first Monday of 2026. And it's going to be a great day. I can't wait to see what God's going to do. The weather is 71 with a low of 58. Madison 66 with a low of 48. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Barbara and Natasha and Jamie and everybody else celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. I thought this was silly, but I thought it was great. Today is National Thank God It's Monday Day. So all of you are going back to work. All of us are going back to normal. Let's make it the best Monday ever, and let's go for it.